licensed contractor. I just installed this shower valve, so you know how to install this. To start things off, you're gonna need some Teflon tape to prevent leaks, and grab your shower valve. This is how you plumb a shower valve. You're gonna notice that at the back of your shower valve, you have 3 inlets for your hot, cold water and your shower head. Now, to make a leak-free connection here, you're going to need Teflon tape. This is gonna prevent leaks, and it's also gonna act as a lubricant. So what you wanna do is make sure it goes on nice and straight. I'm gonna take my tape. You want to wrap this. You're looking to keep the tape nice and straight and flat as you wrap it around your inlet here. So the key here, you don't want to have any twisting on this, and you're going to notice I'm going in a clockwise motion because our fitting is going to be installed in a clockwise motion. So we're doing this about 5 or 6 times. Just going to put my finger there so it doesn't move on me, and then pull it, okay? Then press it in that clockwise motion. So once you've done that, you're gonna repeat the exact same thing on your 2 other inlets. So that's what you're looking for. All 3 are taped. Now, another step in your leak prevention is pipe joint compound. This is gonna prevent leaks. So to use it, you're gonna take your valve and we're gonna go along the threads here. And we're painting this again in a clockwise motion, okay? This is just gonna get in the threads, and this is a step, an added layer of insurance. And then I'm gonna go again clockwise. We always go clockwise here because when we screw our fitting on, we don't wanna undo all our work, right? I'm gonna coat that on and then get our fittings on there. Got that on? Now the first fitting you're gonna need is this one right here. It is your 1/2-inch female adapter. You're gonna need 3 of those to connect your Pex-B. You can just slide your female adapter on top, just like that, and screw it in. There you go, we got 1 on. This side up, that's the shower. So I'm just hand tightening this first off. Grab yourself a crescent wrench. This is what I like to use to tighten this. You're gonna have to use your muscles. I say that a lot. If you haven't plumbed before, you guys can absolutely do this. Now, once your adapters are secure, we can now attach our valve to our blocking, but the depth, you have to get this right. So what about the depth of your shower valve? That is what everyone wants to know. You're gonna take your mud shield, slide it over top of your valve, and you should hear a little click. Yep, that's the click. You want to hear that. You're going to position this on your wall. Now, you're going to notice that a lot of people will take the 2x6 and they'll put it flat against the drywall. That doesn't work for everyone, which is why I like to do this instead. In order to determine where you put your blocking, this is a 2x6 and this is a 2x4 existing framed out wall. What you do is take your valve, put it on your blocking. I have a piece of backer board here, and I'm gonna take a piece of tile and then hold it up here on my stud. Then I'm gonna take my valve, and what I'm looking for, do you see that? That's perfect. That right there is what you want. This mud shield should be flush with your finished wall, okay? Now with this valve, I should say I'm using the universal multi-choice valve by Delta. There's a reason why I'm doing that. You should also know there's a little bit of leeway here. This is plus or minus 3/8 of an inch, but always check your installation guide because that will vary, okay? So before you get started, you should get a laser level to do this right here. Yes, we got mood lighting happening. And don't forget to make sure that your shower head and your valve are in line with your drain. You're gonna need a laser level. You can also use a spirit level to make sure that is nice and plumb. Now to mount your valve, I'm going with 1.5-inch screws. What you're looking for is that to be nice and secure. I'm gonna recommend you guys get long drill bits too. Your valve, this drill bit doesn't cut it. I need to get a long one, so that's why the screw is sticking out. And because my screw is not driven in all the way, my bit is too short, I'm gonna have to fix that later. But first, let's check out the plumbing. We're using Pex-B. Why? Because it's the most common type of piping that we use. And we're using crimp rings. Again, that's what all the plumbers around here use. It's reliable and affordable. Hot water is on the left. I have to say that for old houses, you know what I'm talking about. Cold on the right. And my water is turned off, obviously. Otherwise, this, you know what I'm saying. This is what we're using today. Now, there's a trick to using this. Because we're doing a 90, your pipes have to be braced. I'm just gonna leave a little bit at the top. It has to go in that end first. Don't try it the other way. You can see my knuckles are turning white. I'm using some effort there. Okay, so at this point, you want to take your copper ring and you're going to slide that over top of your PEX, and then you're going to insert it on this side of your adapter and make the connection. The thing is, I actually can't do that. I'm gonna have to go the traditional route and use an elbow fitting because I just don't have enough space to do this bend properly. It's gonna put too much pressure. You just heard it on the valve. So this is what I'm gonna do. A lot of you might have to do the same. So here's how we make that connection. So I need to measure this length of pipe. So I'm just gonna take my copper ring. I'm gonna slide it over this and put my elbow in there, push it down. Just gonna measure from there to there. So I'm just gonna cut, use my cutter. You can use a pencil to measure that distance also. You're gonna take 2 copper rings, slide it over the length of pipe, and then slide it onto the valve here. Push it in, there we go. You actually wanna push it all the way, okay? That's really important to get in close there. I want you guys to take a look at this. Anytime you're making a connection, the copper ring, so the pipe has to be pushed in all the way, and the copper ring needs to be just like that. You're looking for a 1/4 inch to 1/8 gap, okay, on both sides. And so your copper rings don't slip around. You can just gently do this. I actually recommend you doing this for this because otherwise you're gonna slide it around. Now a tip for you, anytime you're using a crimping tool for your copper rings, look at that. This is exactly what you need to do. You're looking for the ring to sit centered up in your tool just like that. I encourage everyone, if you haven't crimped before, get yourself a crimping tool. Do this, save yourself $1,200 to $1,800 and more. Don't be scared of this stuff. We're gonna test our work. Everything we test. Okay, we're gonna take our crimping tool. I'm gonna put the tool over top of the fitting. Got it centered, adjust it. If it's not perfect, you can adjust it. That's the beauty of it. Now I'm gonna squeeze really hard. You are gonna need good grip strength to do this, okay, with this tool, but I can do it, so you guys can do it. There we go, so that's good. You always wanna test your crimps, your crimping with a go, no-go gauge, okay? We're gonna slide it through. That's perfect. So we did that. We're gonna do this one next. Okay, you get it centered. Again, we're gonna squeeze. Okay, yes, that's great. Okay, now we're good. We're gonna test that one too. And you know what? I like to test as we go because we don't wanna miss one, right? Okay, that's good, perfect, perfect. Or you can test at the end. You tell me what you like, that works for me. Open up the jaws. This one will be the trickiest because we have the female adapter there. This is the male end. Okay, squeeze. There we go. So all 3 sides are good. I just saved $600, not bad. Love it. So what you do with the cold side, you're gonna do the same on the hot water side. So once this is all measured up, I wanna take care of this shower head up here. We wanna get a measurement on the height. So for reference for you guys, this blocking, the top of the blocking is 46 inches. The top of the blocking up there, it could be 79, it could be 82. It's really a custom height based on the shower head that you're going to be installing and also the occupants in your home. How tall are you? Where do you want it? Okay, we're just gonna measure the shower head now. This is gonna be a beauty. Watch your fingers. Now for this end of the pipe, you're gonna need what we call a drop ear elbow. For your drop ear, you're gonna drop it in, and we're doing this right now. Gonna push that in all the way, and I've just pinched that with my needle nose pliers so the copper ring doesn't drop. So we're gonna take that, you can take your crimping tool, put it over top so that it's centered up. See that? Now we're gonna squeeze really hard. You're gonna make a fun face. There we go. That's how you do it. We do it here because it's easier than once it's attached there. We wanna check this before it goes up. Goes with the crimping tool, but you see, we're gonna slide that in. Now, once you've made your crimp, we can take it up to the 2x4. But first, we're gonna put this on the valve, place that over the inlet, and then we have one final crimp to go before we move up to the shower head. And I'll show you what we do there. Okay, here we go. Shower head time. Now, before we turn our water on, we need to cap this, otherwise we're gonna get wet. So I'm using a length of pipe here with an end cap, and I'm gonna use some Teflon tape like we did before. And why am I doing this? Because this is how plumbers I work with do this, okay? They use just a length of pipe and a cap. I'm gonna Teflon tape it, get my crescent, and tighten it up. They have plastic ones of these, by the way. I will link in the description. They're super cheap, but if you're gonna leave it capped for a while, I just like to go with metal. Now I'm installing a really long shower head. It has an extension. So I've actually set the 2x4 back a little bit. You can bring it forward so that it's about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 forward, especially if you have a short shower head. But I like this. This is gonna be absolutely gorgeous, and it's a little fun upgrade. So it's gonna go like that. So that is just like 1.25 inches. That's what I wanted. And I've used 3-inch screws right there. You can put back your mud shield on now, and you wanna make sure that your nut here Your bonnet is nice and tight. When we pressurize this, you do not want to have this shooting out at you or leaking. Just hand tighten that a little bit, and then you can turn on the water supply. Now, what you're looking for once it's pressurized is that you have no leaks. You can back this out if you want. I have more plumbing to do, so I can't turn on the water at this point, but that's what you do. You turn it on and you check for leaks. One thing I will say about shower valves, now let's face it, people usually choose the shower valve because of the hardware. That's probably what you're gonna do. Now the valve that I am using is actually a popular one. It is the multi-choice universal shower valve, and it's universal because you can change the trim kits. So I went with something modern. I will link all my tools in the description. You have the cartridge that's gonna go in there, and then your trim kit gets installed after the tile. I'm gonna show you how to do all of that. And if you wanna learn how to renovate your bathroom on your own, you guys can do all of this stuff. Check out this video right here. Got some good tips in there. See you in the next one.